For 5 years, I paid for my family's luxury vacations. You deserve a break, they said, then sent me to a fake hotel, while they relaxed in the real one. So I called the manager and watched them get escorted out, and then I did this. You ever have one of those moments where everything just clicks? Not in a good way, but in that gut punch, slow motion kind of way that makes you realize just how stupid you've been? Yeah. That was me standing outside a rundown budget hotel in the middle of nowhere, holding a reservation that didn't exist while my family sipped cocktails on the rooftop of a 5-star resort 5 blocks away. And here's the real kicker: I paid for both. Sir, we don't have any reservation under that name, the man behind the reception desk repeated, clearly trying not to laugh. This place hasn't accepted bookings online in over 2 years. I blinked, checked my phone again, checked the email my sister had forwarded me with the hotel name, the address, the confirmation number. Except, now it all looks suspiciously fake, like something a 12-year-old could Photoshop in 5 minutes. I didn't scream. I didn't throw my phone. I just stepped outside, walked past the flickering sign that read Luxury Inn and Suites, an ironic name if there ever was one, and called my sister. She picked up on the first ring. "Oh, hey. Did you check in okay?" she said, voice bright and airy like she hadn't just committed the most sociopathic con of the year. "No," I said. Calm. Ice cold. Turns out the hotel doesn't exist. Funny, right? A pause. Just for a second. Then, well, that's weird. Maybe it's, like, under a different name? Sometimes they rebrand. Cut the nonsense. Lauren, silence. I continued, each word a razor blade. You really sent me to a fake hotel with a fake booking while you're all lounging at the Riviera Grande, sipping mojitos on my dime. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not fair. Fair. I laughed, bitter and hollow. I paid for 5 years of these family vacations. You said I needed a break, that I worked too hard. And now suddenly, I'm not invited to the real hotel? You think I wouldn't notice? Look, she snapped. The fake sweetness slipping away like melting makeup. We just thought it would be easier if you had your own space this time. You've been so uptight lately. That's when it hit me. They've been planning this probably for months, smiling to my face while carving me out like I was nothing but a walking credit card, the nice one, the giver. The fool. So I hung up, walked 5 blocks to the real hotel, walked up to the front desk, and said just 4 words, "Call your manager." Now, it started like it always does, with guilt. You've been working so hard. You deserve a break, my mom would say, pouring herself another glass of wine while sending me screenshots of 5-star resorts. You need to relax. Take care of yourself. We'll all go together as a family, just like old times. Except there were never any old times like that. Not really. Growing up, I was the forgettable one, the middle child with decent grades and a quiet mouth. My sister Lauren was the loud, blonde center of attention, cheer captain, drama club, everybody's favorite golden girl. My brother Zach was the laid-back rebel who got a motorcycle at 17 and crashed at the same week. Me? I stayed out of trouble, paved my way through college, got a job in finance, never made waves, and that's exactly why they saw me as useful. The first vacation I paid for was after my mom got laid off. I was 27. She cried on the phone about how she and Dad hadn't taken a trip in years and how Lauren was going through so much after her breakup. And wouldn't it be nice if we all got away for a week? I caved. I booked a beach villa. Covered everything: flights, rental car, private chef, the works. I told myself I was doing it for them. That seeing them happy would be enough. It wasn't. Not even close. From the moment we landed, I was treated like the hired help. Can you cover the drinks? I forgot my card. We should do the dolphin tour. You've got that bonus, right? Oh my God. This resort is so nice. You must be doing well. So proud of you, but not proud enough to pay their own way. Still, I smiled, nodded, laughed along with their jokes even when Lauren called me Daddy Wallet in front of the waiter. I should have stopped then, but I didn't. I kept paying year after year, trip after trip. They got bolder. One summer, it was Italy. The next, the Maldives. When Lauren got married for the first time, they asked if I could gift them a honeymoon extension, just an extra week in Bora Bora. I said yes. I always said yes. My parents played their roles too. Dad never said much, just grunted his approval when the vacation emails went through. Mom knew how to work me, guilt me with a soft voice and a tired smile. It's not about the money, she'd say. It's about keeping the family close, close. That was a joke. Every trip, I noticed how they quietly cut me out. Lauren always chose the rooms. Zach made the playlist. I paid for it all, but somehow, I was always left out of the planning and increasingly, the fun. They'd disappear for group dinners without telling me. Take photos and post them with captions like family time while I ate leftovers in my room. Still, I stayed quiet until last year. Something shifted. We were in Mexico. I had paid for a suite big enough to house a small wedding party. But one night, I came back from a solo swim and found my name off the dinner reservation. We didn't think you'd want to come, Lawrence said, not looking up from her phone. I paid for it. Oh, come on. You always act like you're not into these things. It's just dinner. But it wasn't just dinner. It was a pattern. I was the outsider who footed the bill. I remember sitting on the edge of the bed that night, staring at the resort lights through the window and wondering what I was doing. That was the first time I thought, maybe I should stop. But they pulled me back in. Lauren called in March. She was going through her yoga and manifestation era and said we needed another reset trip. Some deep bonding. She said she'd plan everything just like old times. Just send me your card, she chirped. I'll take care of all the logistics. Trust me. And like a fool, I did. $11,372. That was the total. Flights, rooms, activities, spa treatments. I transferred everything to her and told myself I was being generous, helpful, a good brother, but something felt off this time. She kept dodging questions about the itinerary, sent me the hotel info late, said I'd be staying in a different wing of the resort because of availability issues. And when I landed, there was no driver, no check-in under my name, no real reservation, just an email confirmation from a made-up third-party site and a hotel that hadn't taken guests since 2021. They sent me to a fake hotel. After 5 years of paying for their vacations, they dumped me like garbage. Not a mistake. Not a misunderstanding. A setup. And it made sense. They wanted the vacation, but not me. I was an accessory to them, a wallet with legs. And this time, they didn't even want to pretend. So I called Lauren, heard her voice, heard the light curl around her tongue like poison. And for once, I didn't swallow it. That's why I marched into the Riviera Grande, demanded the manager, and handed him every receipt, every name, every fake email she had used to cover her tracks. And I waited as the concierge frowned, as he made a few quiet calls, as hotel security assembled discreetly by the elevator. And I sat there, sipping the complimentary sparkling water they offered me. As my entire family got escorted out of paradise, I didn't expect the manager to do anything, honestly. I just wanted someone, anyone, to acknowledge how royally I'd been screwed. But apparently, 5-star hotels don't take kindly to identity games and third-party scams, especially when the person funding the entire group booking shows up with proof that they've been duped into sleeping next to a roach motel. The manager reviewed the emails. Cross-referenced the real booking Lauren had made under her name using my card called corporate. Then he gave me a smile so cold it made my spine tingle. Would you like us to handle it discreetly, Mr. Cross? He asked. I shook my head, no. Make it loud. I was sitting in the hotel bar sipping an old-fashioned when it happened. A pair of security guards approached the rooftop cabana like it was a crime scene. Lauren was reclined on a lounger in a white bikini, drink in one hand, phone in the other. Mom was floating in the infinity pool, Dad napping in the shade. Zach and his girlfriend were taking selfies by the glass railing. Then came the words I'd been waiting for. Excuse me, ma'am. We need to speak with you about your reservation. Lauren blinked, adjusted her sunglasses, and laughed like they were asking her for a photo. Sorry. We're kinda in the middle of something, she said. Can it wait? No, ma'am. You need to come with us. The entire pool deck fell quiet. My mom stood up in the water, squinting. Is there a problem? Yes, the manager said, appearing beside the guards. A very serious one. That's when Lauren saw me. I raised my glass in her direction, smiled. Her face dropped. You? What did you? Hi sis, I said sweetly. You booked me a fake hotel. Figured I'd return the favor. What are you talking about? She snapped. Standing now, dripping sarcasm and SPF 50. This is a misunderstanding. You said you didn't want to stay with us. No, I said. I said I was paying for a family vacation. Not to be tricked into a rundown shack while you sunbathed on my dime. I didn't trick you. I pulled out my phone. Hit play. Lauren's voice echoed through the speakers, our earlier call. We just thought it would be easier if you had your own space. You've been so uptight lately, gasps. One of the other guests actually booed. Zach stood frozen. My mom was shaking her head, still in the pool, whispering, no. No, no. Lauren lunged toward me. You had no right to record me. You had no right to steal my money. I didn't steal anything, really? Because you booked a hotel in your name using my card, lied about it, and dumped me 5 blocks away like I was a charity case. The manager stepped in. Mr. Cross has provided proof that the reservation was made fraudulently. I'm afraid we'll have to ask all guests associated with this booking to leave the premises immediately. What? My mother shrieked. You're kicking us out? Lauren looked like she was about to explode. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Yes, I said without blinking thoroughly. You're disgusting, she hissed. After everything we've done for you. Oh, please. I cut her off. You've done nothing for me. You use me. You needed a wallet with a last name, and I was stupid enough to volunteer. You're overreacting. Dad finally chimed in, voice raised. This isn't what family does. Exactly, I said. Family doesn't lie. Family doesn't exclude. Family doesn't pretend to love you for 5 years just to book you into a fake hotel like a stray dog. He tried to say something else, but the guards had already begun helping them gather their things. Lauren screamed when they touched her suitcase. I paid for this vacation. No, I said. I did. And it's over. She looked at me like I just ripped her heart out. I hope you're happy, she spat. I'm free, I said. Which is better? 10 minutes later, I watched them walk out the front doors of the Riviera Grande, humiliated, flustered, dragging their overpriced luggage and shattered pride behind them. The best part? The hotel let me stay, comped my room, upgraded me even. Turns out, when you catch scammers on their own dime, people take notice. As for Lauren, she tried texting me that night. Lauren, you made your point. Now undo this. Lauren, Mom's crying. Are you really okay with that? Lauren, you're unbelievable. I didn't reply, but I did post a photo to the family group chat. Me, in the rooftop pool, sunset behind me, captioned, Vacations just getting started. For the first time in years, I slept like a king. Not just because the bed in my upgraded suite at the Riviera Grande felt like it was made from clouds and whispered apologies, but because the silence, the absence of their voices, their demands, their fake laughter was the most peaceful thing I'd ever heard. They were gone. Security had escorted them out like a pack of petty criminals. I stayed, ate the rest of the week's prepaid meals, took their spa appointments, drank their champagne. Every time I passed a couple on a couple's massage table or someone lounging by the pool in a bathrobe, I thought of Lauren shrieking while being dragged off hotel property and smiled. But what I didn't expect, the fallout. It started small. Missed calls from my mom, then Dad, then Lauren, then came the real punchline, a group voicemail. They must have been in the same room because it sounded like a sad parody of a hostage tape. We just want to understand what happened, my mom said, voice quivering. You didn't have to embarrass us, Lauren cut in, clearly trying to cry but forgetting how. We're family, my dad finished flatly. This isn't how we do things. I didn't even listen to the rest. Deleted it. But what I did next surprised even me. I sent them a group text. Next time you want me to pay for your vacation, at least pretend I'm invited. Oh, wait. There won't be a next time. Block, block, block. I checked out of the hotel 2 days later, relaxed and high on revenge. When I got home, I made one last decision. I transferred my savings, every cent in the family emergency fund. I'd stupidly kept open into my private account and closed the shared card Lauren had used for years. It felt like locking the door to a house I no longer lived in. Then the weirdest thing happened. People started reaching out. Cousins, friends of friends, even my aunt from Michigan, I hadn't heard from since I was 12. "You were right to do it," one cousin texted. "I always felt like they never gave you the respect you deserved," someone said. About time someone put Lauren in her place. Turns out, my family's golden children weren't so golden to everyone else. People had watched quietly as I paid for everything and got nothing in return. And now? They were cheering from the sidelines. But then came the message that flipped everything. It was from a number I didn't recognize. "Hi. You don't know me, but I think we should talk. I'm Olivia. I'm Lauren's daughter." I stared at the screen for a full minute. What? Lauren didn't have kids. At least, she wasn't supposed to. She'd always said she wasn't the maternal type and couldn't imagine ruining her body for a baby, but the message continued. "She gave me up 19 ago for adoption. I only just found out who she is, and I found you. I think you're my uncle." My breath caught. It didn't make sense, or maybe it did. Lauren had disappeared for a semester when she was 19, told everyone she'd gone studying abroad. I remember Mom being weirdly tight-lipped about it. Dad wouldn't even say what country she'd gone to. It was a lie. All of it. I replied, "Where are you?" She was real, and she wasn't reaching out for money or drama. She just wanted to know who she was. We agreed to meet for coffee. She looked like Lauren, the same sharp cheekbones, the same hazel eyes, but softer. "Kinder. I don't want anything," Olivia said, clutching her coffee cup. "I just needed to understand where I came from, and I thought maybe you could help." For the first time in years, I felt like I was having a conversation with someone in my family that didn't involve guilt or manipulation. I told her everything about Lauren, about the fake hotel, the vacations, the betrayal. She didn't defend her. Instead, she said, "You deserved better, and I'm sorry you didn't get it." We sat in silence for a while after that, just breathing. Then Olivia pulled something from her bag, a box. She slid it across the table. "What's this?" I asked. "My adoptive dad passed away recently. He was a lawyer, and he kept this. He thought one day I might need it." I opened it. Inside was a folder, documents, legal papers, and then a handwritten note from my grandmother. The one who had died 5 years ago. The one Lauren always tried to get close to. The one who used to secretly send me birthday cards with 20 and the words for my quiet favorite. The letter was short. "If you're reading this, it means Lauren's lies have gone far enough. The truth always comes out. Everything I had, the inheritance, the house, the land, it goes to William. Because he's the only one who never asked for anything. He just gave." I stared at the words, my hands shaking. "Wait, this was real?" I whispered. Olivia nodded. "Lauren fought it hard. Told my dad you'd never show up to claim it. That she'd take care of it. He didn't trust her. So he kept this safe." I couldn't believe it. While I was paying for their flights and massages, Lauren had been hiding my inheritance and doing everything to keep it hidden. I looked at Olivia. "Why are you giving this to me?" She shrugged, smiling. "Because it's yours." And just like that, the final piece of the puzzle clicked into place. They didn't just use me. They stole from me. And now? Now it's my turn. 2 weeks later, I stood in the same lawyer's office where Lauren had once lied through her perfectly whitened teeth. This time, it was my appointment. Olivia sat beside me as Mr. Callahan, her late father's partner, handed me the full breakdown. My grandmother's assets were substantial: a house in upstate New York, 2 undeclared investment accounts, and a hefty inheritance she'd left specifically for me. Estimated total value, $2,300,000. And all of it had been intentionally concealed. "Your sister," the lawyer said, not even trying to hide the contempt in his voice, used fraudulent statements to convince the probate office you had waived your claim. She forged your signature. She even filed a sworn affidavit saying you were mentally unstable and unwilling to manage finances. My jaw clenched so hard it cracked. Lauren didn't just fake a hotel reservation. She tried to erase me from the family legacy. Can we go after her? I asked. Mr. Callahan smiled. Already did. 2 days later, she was served fraud, forgery, financial abuse, civil damages, but that was just the warm-up. Next came the forensic audit. Every charge on my shared card, every transaction tied to vacations, family expenses, dinners I wasn't invited to, and spa visits I never booked. Every time they used my name, my money, my silence, it became evidence. And the number added up fast, $186,904.11. I made sure the lawsuit included my parents and Zach because they knew. Maybe they didn't sign the documents, but they definitely had no problem spending the money. They tried to deny it at first. Tried to guilt me. "We're your parents," Mom cried on a Zoom call. "This is humiliating." "No," I said. "What you did was humiliating. This is justice." Dad tried the old card, the calm voice, the disappointed tone. "Is this really what you want? To sue your own family?" "You're not my family," I said. "You're just a group of adults who treated me like a debit card." Then I sent them screenshots. Every dollar I spent over the years, itemized, dated, categorized. I even included the receipts from the fake hotel. And the cherry on top? A copy of Grandma's letter. You could practically hear the oxygen leave the call. Lauren broke first. "I can't pay that," she whispered. "I don't have that kind of money." Then sell the bags, the shoes, the lies. She hung up. But reality doesn't end when the call drops. By the end of the month, my lawyer froze their joint accounts. Lauren's car was repossessed. Zach had to sell his condo. My parents refinanced their house. They called it cruelty. I called it reimbursement. Then one by one, the apologies trickled in. Not sincere ones, of course. Not "we were wrong" or "we used you." More like, "Can we talk this through? Do you really want to destroy your own family over money? We're struggling." Isn't that punishment enough? No. It wasn't. Because I struggled too. I struggled while they ate shrimp cocktails and laughed behind my back. I struggled when they booked themselves into presidential suites and sent me to rot in a motel. I struggled alone. But now? Now I was done struggling. They were the ones gasping for air. And me? I was finally breathing. I used part